Scott, be honest with us. Was there a part of you thinking, Nick, get off the ice as the play goes the other way? Because he had been out there for a while, but him staying out there ended up being, you guys get rewarded for it.
Yeah, it was that, but they also, Washington had 4 guys on the ice. I don't know if you saw it, but so if you missed the net and it went around, we were probably going to get a power play because they had 4 guys. So I guess he had a little bit in the tank left over and just burned down. What a great shot. So great to see.
Yeah, and a great pass, too, by Dylan Sember. Again, a guy we talked to a few games ago who hadn't seen a lot of overtime, but he looks pretty comfortable out there at 3-on-3.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of on the fly learning how to do it. We got him in there with them getting possession of the puck, but those guys did a good job keeping it to the outside. Finally you just wait for your opportunity to get that puck back. And I like the way, Sammy Fire recognized it, that they were where they were at, and just a great way to end that great game.
Yeah, and you've had wins by much larger margins, but I have to think this is right up there in terms of games you've loved, just quality of opponent and the way the game played out. It felt kind of like a playoff game, right?
That was a heavyweight battle right there. That really was. Both teams, even though one's from the east, one's from the west, it's like we play each other 8 times a year. There was a lot of trash talk going on. There were some big hits. There was a lot happening, and I think that both teams recognize that. You want to be number one, and it was a great game. I just thought punch counter punch kind of going on all night.
You mentioned how you put Alex Iafallo with Scheifele and Carr to get a bit of meat and potatoes with them. In putting Ehlers with Lowry and Appleton, what were you trying to do there, and how do you think it went tonight?
Like I said this morning, it had a little bit to do with their lineup. I knew I wanted to go with Lowry and Apple against Wilson. And Dubois, some big bodies. And I just felt I don't think we had anybody that was going to line up against Tom Wilson and be able to, I just thought that maybe Fly would be the guy. I thought that maybe that's a situation at speed against, Tom is a great player. And it just, I just, having the opportunity to make them defend and play in their end, I thought we did that with that line. They had some real good zone time, and they kept the Dubois line down in their end of the rink, and that goes a long way. And Fly, being a puck possession guy that he is, kind of helps drive that a little bit. And then the other side too, with Vladdy's line and Fetz, Nino again, they did a great job themselves. Whether they were against Strome or whoever they were against, did a great job of doing what they need to do as a line. I thought Nino did a great job of getting to the net and playing heavy as well.
Have you learned anything new from, Nikolai Ehlers? And there was a game against Colorado when he was with Adam Lowry, and then a game like tonight. It just seems like he's able to, adapt and perform in different roles like tonight as well.
Yeah, he recognizes who he's playing with. Guys with that kind of skill, if you're playing with maybe a couple other top-end skill guys, you're going to be, do some other things. You're playing against 2 guys like Apple and Lau that are going to, probably dump it in and go get it, and then he is the support off of that. And, he knows to get to holes, to get to spots when he's playing with those kind of guys. I think that he just, he's a veteran player. He's been around a while and knows how to play in a lot of situations.
You talked about Cole Perfetti there, and we've talked all year about his evolution. In a heavyweight battle like tonight, it really seemed like the details of his game shined through. What did you see from him?
No, he's not the biggest body. I think he had a great hit there in the third period, right in center ice there. He had the puck a lot. I liked the way he held onto it. A couple times he drove. He came out of the corners, took it to the front of the net. Those are great things. Those are all the things that we've talked about, him kind of evolving as a player. And that's the stuff in the playoffs that you have to do. You have to go into those greasy areas, and I thought he did. He's been really good at that.
And how do you guys kind of emotionally balance? You clinch a playoff spot, but overtime hasn't even started yet, and they play the big thing. The crowd is on their feet. How do you kind of focus on the task at hand despite clinching?
Yeah, I mean, you have to be appreciative of what we've done, obviously. And at the start of the year, our first goal, we have a few goals, but our first goal was to eliminate 8 teams, and we did that, obviously, after 60 minutes. So, you have to applaud our players for, doing that, and would have liked to have done it against Buffalo, but at the same time, and to win the game and get that extra point is just sort of the cream on the top.
Scott, how significant was your club's response in getting this result against this opponent, coming after what you described on Sunday as the ultimate trap game?
Yeah, I don't think it was very hard to fire the guys up for this one. They knew who was coming into town. we had a great game down in Washington against them. You know, obviously this one was right up there as one of the best. You know, we saw I've seen our response all year long when we've been challenged like this against, you know, real good hockey teams, and we've responded in the right way. And just, you know, we always talk about put the last one behind us, move on to the next one. And if we weren't ready tonight, we would have got run over. And I just thought we did a fantastic job.
There was so much focus on Ovi when you
Who?
when you saw him get that tying goal. Kind of what's going through your mind?
He came by the bench and gave me the biggest smirk. So I'm glad he got the goal in the sense, or getting closer to his goal. Excuse me, I'm not glad he got the goal. I'm glad he's getting close to whatever that number is. At the end of the day, that's him. It doesn't take much. The puck is on his stick, off his stick. I thought we did a really good job for most of the game of trying to limit him. You know, a lot of chances. He had a few on the power play, but I thought we did a really good job of staying over top of him. He doesn't need much time or space, and at the end of the day, we got the 2 points. You know, and you know, it is what it is. I was kind of hoping that we could finish that one off in a 2-1 game, but at the end of the day, we did a pretty good job on him.
Did you get a chance to give him a smirk at the end of the game?
I didn't get to see him. He was farther down the bench, so I might see him later.
Scott, it was a game where the general theme was people didn't give an inch, right? I mean, Mangiapane goes off after Miller, and there's so many different moments. Even Cole Perfetti went back at Matty Roy there when he was getting those cross checks. Why is it so important when the two best teams in the NHL play each other that these guys don't give that inch?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that we have a rematch. That'd be really nice. But at the end of the day, yeah, there's bragging rights on the line. And I'm not that we're looking at who's going to be the best, and that's our number one priority. But there's bragging rights tonight, and you know, we can even back up with them on the points side of things. But at the end of the day, those are like that's the calluses that we talk about getting, and you know, the scars that you get over the course of the season, so that when you run into the playoffs, you've been through this a few times. And I think that there's been some really big tests for us running into these kind of games, and to go against a heavyweight team like that and to come out, you know, with the 2 points, that's you know, real good growth for us, and it's real good things that, like I said before, that we're trying to build towards game 83 and 83 on.
Thanks.
Thank you. Thanks.